fled violence and built a life in Maryland. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the tether?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA Finals is tied up at 1-1. The Oklahoma City Thunder rebounded from a traumatic loss in Game 1 with a 123-107 win over the Indiana Pacers. Another magnificent game from NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points and 8 assists. SGA has 72 points in the first two games in the finals. That's the highest two-game total in NBA history for a player competing in his first finals. The next two games are in Indianapolis. Game 3 is Wednesday night. The Dodgers beat St. Louis Sunday 7-3. They start a 3-game series tonight in San Diego. The Angels lost at home to Seattle 3-2. Angels batters struck out 18 times. The Angels start a 3-game series tonight at home against Oakland. UCLA's baseball team is in the College World Series for the first time since 2013. The Bruins beat Texas San Antonio 7-0 to win the LA Super Regional. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews. Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe. Over the years, Lionel has catered most major Black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And man, oh man, do we need it, LA and USA. Probably worldwide we need it. What a blessing to have Saharah Ali, who is a meditation instructor, a sound healer, sound bath specialist, astrologer, life coach, and meditation teacher, joining us on Mondays to help us get it together. Time for Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali. Welcome, Saharah.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Mondays, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with wisdom, power, truth, and faith. This week's celestial influence invites us to pause, reassess, and recalibrate the stories we tell ourselves. Under the gaze of a Sagittarius strawberry full moon Wednesday at 12:44 a.m., our marching orders are to release the past, take our power back from any and all things impeding soul's fulfillment, reflecting on the paths we've talked and the paths we walked and the roads yet to be traveled. This Sagittarius full moon acts as a beacon, illuminating not only our desires, but also the courage needed to unapologetically pursue our wholeness and our happiness. Our souls invite us to explore the world behind our eyes, to embrace truth, gathering faith, unfolding infinite possibilities with clarity. It brings structure to our dreams and wishes, releasing stagnation, strengthening our spirits. The action or the call to action and the action plan is to remember our soul's purpose, honor our wisdom, and not black down. It's awakening personal power, supporting collective consciousness as we become the change agents that we want to see in the world. We have the chance to build new foundations, manifesting fulfillment, not only for ourselves, but for others. This is a very cathartic full moon, supporting our call to action, aiding inner wisdom, opening the journey to the world behind our eyes as we embrace our purpose and personal power. So going forward, let's lean into our Mindful Monday meditation. Take a breath. Take a breath and anchor your feet to the earth, connecting to purpose, rooting and aligning to your soul's fulfillment. Breathe. Breathe and be here now in this moment. Exhale, relax, and continue to just breathe. And as you breathe, now say to yourself our Mindful Monday mantra for the week. I embrace divine guidance with grace and ease. Just breathe and listen and let go and say to yourself, I embrace divine guidance with grace and ease. Inhale, calling on the power of divine wholeness, open to grace and ease. Breathe and mindfully connect and listen as you inhale and you exhale, repeating the mantra in your mind. I embrace divine guidance with grace and ease. I embrace divine guidance with grace and ease. Relax and just breathe. And every time you inhale, listen for the guidance, connecting to the breath, and give yourself permission to lean into divine wisdom. Breathe and listen with love for clarity with each breath. Relax and let go. Breathe in love from the Most High. And exhale, call on your angels and ancestors as you surrender what's no longer serving you. As you repeat the mantra, call on divine wholeness. I embrace divine guidance with grace and ease. Inhale, open to divine transformation. And as you open to this divine transformation, level up to your wholeness within. Breathe and relax and feel empowered, believing all things are possible. Breathe and relax, feeling centered and grounded, quieting your mind, quieting the body, and allow yourself to connect to the divine guidance with grace and ease. Feel yourself anchored, grounded, and centered, and feel the stillness in your mind and body, and open yourself to our Mindful Monday affirmation to carry with you throughout the week. Today I stand in faith, leveling up to the wholeness within me, allowing divine guidance to unfold with grace and ease. Today I stand in faith, leveling up to the wholeness within me, allowing divine guidance to unfold with grace and ease. Holding on to that mantra, embracing divine guidance with grace and ease. As you go through your week, as you go through your day, let that be in the back of your heart and your mind, that you are willing to stand in faith, leveling up to the wholeness within, allowing divine guidance to unfold with grace and ease. Divine guidance unfolding with grace and ease. Now breathe deep. And as you exhale, bring your awareness back to present time, giving yourself permission to be right here, right now, and promising yourself to be unapologetically in truth, standing in faith, leveling up to the wholeness within, allowing divine guidance to unfold with grace and ease. Center yourself, ground yourself, bring your awareness back, and connect to your wholeness. Thank you, Dominique, Tabitha Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetically, mindfully blessed full moon week.
She said full moon week. Okay, before you bounce, Saharah Ali, just quickly, full Sagittarian strawberry moon? Like, what? Is this a part of Prince's birthday? It's under the cherry moon. What exactly is that? It sounds like a whole thing. Huh?
Well, the Indians gave each moon a special name, and so, it's just the strawberry full moon, so this is the time you harvest strawberries. Like, strawberries are in bloom, and so that's what we honor that. So if we have a wolf moon, the wolf moon is in the wintertime when the wolf is hungry and he starts howling. So there's the Indians, brilliant people trying to help you connect to the flow of nature and to honor the flow of nature. So go eat some strawberries because this is their season.
And also they have lots of vitamin C, so you need that.
Right.
But it's a Sagittarian full moon. Sagittarian can be, well, at least for my non-expert observation, can be a little feisty.
Yeah, but the strawberry full moon is wonderful. It's beautiful, and it's special because it's going to help us level up to the divinity within us and really lean and see the unfoldment of divine guidance with grace and ease. That is the gift of Sagittarius. It's ruled by Jupiter. It gives you a positive attitude. The real kicker is that, the real thing, and I have to choose the moon or the other one. And so what's happening today is that Jupiter is going into Cancer, and Jupiter is going to be in Cancer for the next year. And with Jupiter in Cancer, what we're seeing is an awakening and a personal empowerment and an expansion and a willingness to stand for the people, with the people, by the people, for the people. And it's exalted. So that means that there's a blessing on our choice to really connect to community and collective consciousness and to be empowered and know that we are the change agents of this time. The last time Jupiter was in Cancer was in 2013 and 2014. And so if you think about a lot of things that took place in 2013 and 2014, we will repeat some of those things, and a lot has to do with freedom. It has to do with
that was Trayvon Martin. That was the founding of Black Lives Matter. That was when we, stood in solidarity with our hoodies and said, enough. We've been watching our people get murdered in these streets for too long. And it really kind of was the beginning of the current era that we're in. So that's a powerful and interesting thing to look at. What is it? Almost 12 years later.
And that's the gift. And the thing that is different this time, because it's square Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries, which we hadn't had that in a long time. And so what's going to happen is we will win. We are going to win. We are winning. We just have to understand and let go of the fatalism that blocks the hope and the drive to continue to persevere. We cannot buy into the illusion of the bullying, the disrespect, or the archaic, mindset. We have already entered into the change of it all. It's just a matter of settling in our power with this. So it's so important to understand and level up to the wholeness within and allow divine guidance to unfold with grace and ease so that we can be navigated through this unscathed.
Yeah, so it sounds like not giving into fear, not giving into, oh, what's the use? It doesn't make any difference. Not giving into sort of the collective death wish of some places in our entertainment and internet spaces, and staying focused on our commitment to collective consciousness, to progress, to light, to love, to solidarity, and the interconnectivity of human beings globally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it any better. And if you think about from Trayvon Martin to today and look at the progress that we've made and the journey that we have taken, and it's most unfortunate that we lose lives in this process of reframing the value of who we are as humans, and it is very necessary. And God bless everybody on the front line. God bless everybody enduring this journey to not black down and to stand. And we all in our prayers, if we're not on the front line, get prayed out, because it's all about energy. It's all about frequency. In a collective, if we change our minds, we change the world. And that's what we're asking for, mentally, emotionally, physically, and in action. We are willing to change this world. We have changed this world, and we can't stop. And even though we are dealing with some archaic beliefs, and that is why they are coming to the surface, so that we can reframe what we believe in, what we stand for. We forgot about that. We fell for everything. We got hooked on the phone and the internet and TikTok and everything, and we forgot to stand for our individual truth and the power we possess to be the change agents on this planet and to live in a different way of consciousness.
Yeah, well said, Saharah Ali. Look, if y'all want a reading, whether it's astrological or you want a sound bath for your friends and family, or a personal sound healing for yourself, some life coaching, get yourself together, you can call Elise, which is the name of Saharah's assistant. Elise is at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. You can go to SaharahAli.com to find out where the next yoga class or sound bath is taking place. And let's do that. Let's support Saharah, who supports us each and every week. Thank you so much, Saharah Ali.
Thank you, Dominique, Miles, Tavis Smiley, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetically blessed week and connect divinity within and be guided and unfold your life with grace and ease.
Grace and ease. Perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We do actually have a lot to talk about, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again. Holla.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Hit the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima. DiPrima with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PUSH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Yeah, we do have a lot to talk about. Today is election day in the state of New Jersey, where my brother, not brother like right on brother, but my brother, is running for governor and actually doing quite well in polling. It's a crowded field. It's a primary. So if he is able to win today, and it's a tall order. I mean, there have been very few black governors in the nation's history, period. Never been one in New Jersey. Certainly not a Baraka, a progressive, an unapologetic, as he describes himself, an unapologetic progressive, as the New York Times describes him, a radical pragmatic, meaning he gets stuff done an incredible job in Newark. But it's a heavy lift. So I'm hoping, praying, and donating and everything we need to do to try and get him across that finish line. It is a heavy lift. It is a crowded field. And so we shall see. If you want to help, it's Raz for Governor, RAS, razforgovernor.com. You can make a donation. It is not too late. You can show up and knock on doors, get out the vote. Today's the day. Polls are already open there. And it's a big day for the state of New Jersey, for the Baraka family. Like I said last week, technically my name should or could be Baraka or Jones. Just that my mom asked me to use her last name, which is DiPrima, and I did because she didn't ask me for a lot of things. In any case, yeah, it's a perfect time to call me at 800-920-1580, keeping my one eye on New Jersey and another eye on these L.A. streets. And, Miles, you have a clip. I was thinking about my brother because we saw a couple weeks ago how the Trump administration clearly up the ladder, up the food chain, called for his arrest by ICE as a U.S. citizen and sitting mayor of Newark, when he went to greet Congress members on the ground there. They arrested him, held him for a day, and those charges were later dropped. And given what's happening right now with the National Guard being called into L.A., the threats of Marines, and the border czar, Tom Homan, saying that he would consider arresting electeds if they didn't cooperate with the Trump agenda. What I had said, that I thought my brother was the first black elected to be arrested, but probably wouldn't be the last, was top of mind. Let's listen what Mayor Karen Bass had to say. Mayor Karen Bass, you saw that my brother, the mayor of Newark, was arrested by ICE and held for a whole day. And when the President of the United States and his his border czar are threatening to arrest you and the governor and take over the city, how do you respond to that, seeing that that's already happened to a sitting mayor in our country recently?
Well, I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'll tell you, it's ironic considering what our city has been through, what our area has been through, coming on the anniversary of the wildfires, for this to happen. And interestingly, I mean, one of the reasons why things have advanced in the wildfires is because of support from the administration, and now we have the exact opposite happening.
Yeah, and, that's... Listening to the mayor, even her responses to some of the questions from Tavis Smiley and Dr. Nicor Corte, that she's threading a needle. And just like the governor was trying to do, I think our mayor she worked with Schwarzenegger when he was governor. She worked in Congress when Republicans had control of the House. She is very skilled at threading the needle, and it's one of the reasons why we're fortunate to have her as mayor during this rather perilous time, because we still need the Trump administration to deliver aid for the Palisades, for Eaton. Of course, Altadena, Pasadena is not part of the Karen Bass's area, but she has expressed on this show to me that she's concerned about Palisades and Altadena. And we know how petty Donald Trump is. We know he would be happy to withhold funds for fire recovery because he was angry about something that happened with protests. We know that he doesn't like California, even though he's happy to come here with his hand out begging for election dollars and gets tons of them. A lot of those tech bros, we know that Musk supposedly lives in Texas now, but Peter Thiel and a lot of the Palantir guys, the big oligarchy, the broligarchy dudes, are from California. He's happy to come here and get money just like all politicians are. But it's not his favorite place, and I think it means that elected officials, including the mayor and the governor, are in a very tricky position where they have to try to protect the citizens and residents who are not citizens of this city from the impingement and abridgment of our rights and the Constitution, the flouting of the Constitution, while still keeping the lines of communication open so that we can get our money back. I say money back because we heard from Assemblymember Isaac Bryan. Maybe I'll be able to play that for you as well, to where California pays out $80 billion more than we get back in federal support. And now they're talking about withholding our own money from us, which would impede our recovery from this huge disaster in January. It is a very, very tricky dance that our electeds are doing right now as we face the madness in the invasion of our city by ICE and Homeland Security. Perfect time to call me. News, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Tensions rise in New York City as ICE arrests spark protests. Representatives Adriano Espaillat and Nydia Velasquez were denied entry to a detention center Sunday.
They don't ask for your green card. They don't ask for your American passport. They'll profile you and pick you up depending on how you look.
A day earlier, 9 were arrested trying to block an ICE van outside a federal building in Manhattan. Memorial services begin today for Black former Congressman Charles Rangel, who died on Memorial Day at age 94. He'll lie in repose at a Harlem church where he once served as an altar boy, with a funeral Friday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. And Americans are set to spend a record $24 billion on Father's Day this year, according to the National Retail Federation. That's up over 7% from last year, with average spending just under $200 per person. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA Finals is tied up at 1-1. The Oklahoma City Thunder rebounded from a traumatic loss in Game 1 with a 123-107 win over the Indiana Pacers. Another magnificent game from NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points and 8 assists. SGA has 72 points in the first 2 games in the finals. That's the highest 2-game total in NBA history for a player competing in his first finals. The next 2 games are in Indianapolis. Game 3 is Wednesday night. The Dodgers beat St. Louis Sunday 7-3. They start a 3-game series tonight in San Diego. The Angels lost at home to Seattle 3-2. Angels batters struck out 18 times. The Angels start a 3-game series tonight at home against Oakland. UCLA's baseball team is in the College World Series for the first time since 2013. The Bruins beat Texas San Antonio 7-0 to win the LA Super Regional. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews. Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe. Over the years, Lionel has catered most major black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Look at Molly Bell in the chat acting as a shadow producer. Just reminding the chat room, she says, be sure to email and make sure you're counted and confirmed. That she's talking about our anniversary events, our 4th anniversary. Her doctor is telling her not to go, but she'll see. She's on the list. Well, we want you to take care of your health, Molly Bell, and we want you to keep your joy intact. But thank you for reminding folks, because it is our 4th anniversary, and those events are right around the corner. Juneteenth, to be exact. Today's the 9th. That means we're 10 days out, and seating at all 4 of our special events is filling up. I think there's a few more spots, but let me encourage you to stop and do it right now if you can. It's free, so it's not a money thing. You just need to go to KBLA 1580, KBLA1580.com, and get your spot. If you're planning to come to the barbecue and celebration, which is actually on the day of Juneteenth, I'll be there for sure. Looking forward to it. We're asking you to bring a gift card of any size, whatever you can handle easily, whether it's from a restaurant or a grocery store. Those will go to the Eaton Altadena Fire families that are still displaced, individuals that are still struggling to bounce back. And sadly, there are a lot of those still. We're grateful for whatever you can do to help those families. Go to KBLA1580.com. Register. You can go to any or all of the events. They're all free, and we want to save a spot for you. And thank you for helping us help Altadena. Thank you for celebrating with us 4 years of unapologetically progressive, unapologetically black, unbossed, unbought, unbothered talk radio. We so appreciate you. Let's talk about it, whatever it is, what's on your mind, 800-920-1580. Going right to Kwamel, calling from Gardena. Good morning, Kwamel.
That's why, darling, it's incredible. Let me stop. It is something to see what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Quick recap of State of the People over the weekend. It was a lot. 1580 was in the building at both of those things. I met Melina. I met the Quarterlife Quartet. I met Achille. I was like, dang, everybody I'm hearing on DiPrima is just up in it. It was Eddie Anderson was there. It was crazy. A whole lot of folks. So that was quite the treat.
What was the highlight for you, Kwamel, of that event? I did not attend it. I wasn't invited, but I could have invited myself.
Well, I mean, I didn't get to meet Joy Reid, Ben Crump, and I heard Kamala Harris came through and spoke, and I didn't get to make that happen because I was transitioning from work. But meeting Angela Rao, I was like, oh my gosh, she fine as wine in person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to see it kind of like the massive, show of force. I'm thinking like, oh, okay, hold up, it's kind of going down. And Melina was speaking about how, coming from some of the ICE protests on Friday, and I was like, okay, it's definitely happening somewhere out here. And I wasn't monitoring like TV news because TV news can kind of make a thing look like it's going down everywhere, and that's the only thing happening. I know CNN kind of has that model sometimes.
Yeah, and to be clear, I think that's why one of the reasons why Trump sent the National Guard, because he only looks at TV. He doesn't look at statistics. He doesn't read his briefings. So he probably saw, one report with people clashing with ICE and decided it was everywhere.
Yeah, and I was up and down the 710 on Saturday. Generally, if you weren't watching TV or you weren't in those exact areas, which it really was just like the Arts District or the fashion district, up in downtown LA. Yeah. No, I saw they were like locking down the Arts District yesterday.
They ended up locking down the entire downtown area yesterday.
Oh wow! Yeah. Nah, but on Saturday, what I saw was as I was coming down to 17, getting out of Pasadena, going down to Long Beach for another thing I was going to. I noticed the Alondra was blocked off, like the entire overpass and the exits, and I wasn't aware at the time because again I hadn't been monitoring on the news what was happening. But then see later on, like the picture of over by Dale's Donuts, the famous big donut, those like Randy's. Where it's like, I don't know if it's pallets or vehicles burning. A vehicle was burning in the middle of the block. But I guess PD had blocked that overpass off, so there's like, yeah, you're not doing the freeway thing over here, homie.
Apparently they set a couple of the Waymo vehicles, those self-driving vehicles, and they were spray painting on some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. That was on Alameda. That was on Temple Street as well. It's like 5 of them. I was like, wow, what did poor Waymo do?
They shut down service to the area is what they did.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird to see those cars, kind of just twisting about around town. But I was like, dang, okay, I just didn't see the need for that. But anyways,
those cars
one thing I went. I know, right? At least they didn't do what they do in San Francisco, where they end up blocking stuff. They got to perfect it for LA. That's neither here nor there. One thing I want to throw at you though, and get some commentary on was, it doesn't seem like Newsom is finally coming to his senses and not being all like, hey, let's be pals with Charlie Kirk. like he flicked the switch back and said, you know what? Let me get back in the mode of where like we got this. Don't do that stupid stuff. Don't come up in here escalating, trying to bring your federal MAGA Gestapo vibes up in here. And Bass said the same thing, and I appreciate seeing that dual effort. I got one of my wannabe centrist friends and my ex was all like, "Oh, Karen Bass is done." I'm like, what did Karen Bass do that's going to piss anybody off besides folks that just want to see the right take over? Even though I am kind of concerned that, if Harris is about to run for governor, because I'm seeing she's making statements, and these are great things to see.
I think she's running, don't you?
But I really am concerned, and I'll get off on this note, that some righty is going to get fired up and suddenly get bumped up as the answer, and the stake can mess around and get usurped by some just MAGA nut job.
Yeah, could happen.
And on that, and it's just something to think about. Even though I like anybody on our side's chances. Not saying that they're full on our side, because we're still to the left of these folks. But I am concerned that they'll try to get some guy and pump all the money up behind them.
Right.
And on that note, I thank you for your time. I just wanted to go throw my in because it's crazy out here. Stay safe, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for the report on that conference as well. I appreciate it. But I think you're right. I mean, we could have Larry Elder, the sequel, right? Because they are going to try to come full force against a Kamala Harris gubernatorial run, and that governor's race, like the one taking place in New Jersey today, is very crowded with Democrats. You've got former mayor of LA, Antonio Villaraigosa, the former treasurer, Betty Yee. You have the Lieutenant Governor Kolonakis, the superintendent of state superintendent Tony Thurman. I'm former Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra. And all those folks are running, and I missed a few, I'm sure, because I'm just rattling it off the top of my head. But it's going to be a very crowded race. It does look like Vice President Kamala Harris is going to jump in. It certainly appears that way with her and Newsom showing up in Compton at schools and making appearances for the people. If I'm angling for 2028 and looking presidential, I don't know that I'm making those appearances yet. I don't know that I'm making those statements yet. But she's doing it, and to me, it's giving I'm running for governor. But we shall see. She hasn't made an official announcement yet, and there's much to consider. 800-920-1580, that's the number to call if you want to say a thing or talk about a thing. Man, there's so much to cover. That ship off of Israel with Greta Thunberg and others trying to draw attention to the plight of people starving in Gaza. Got news on that and more. Taking your phone calls and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June the 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we cut the ribbon on the brand new Enel Woods Park at 8703 South McKinley Avenue. Thanks to a generous donation from Heal the Bay, the park features smart irrigation, stormwater capture systems, and space for local wildlife to thrive. And we've built a walking trail, picnic areas, native landscaping, and quiet spaces for families to gather, relax, and connect. This is part of a much larger effort to expand green spaces across South LA with 3 new parks in the works, a first-of-its-kind community center coming soon, and plans to connect it all through the South LA Greenway. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 14th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and come celebrate a greener, stronger South LA at Enel Woods Park. I'm also pleased to sponsor the Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium, moderated by Tavis Smiley, live on C-SPAN, Wednesday, June the 18th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Just a reminder to sign up right away at the KBLA1580.com website to join me, Mayor Karen Bass, Congresswoman Sidney Kamala Dove, Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, Dr. Cornel West, former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., the Sierra Club's Ben Jealous, and other black influencers in the climate and health fields as we continue to amplify the connection between climate and poor health outcomes for our people. Thank you for listening. I'm Councilman Curran Price.
Are you ready to play? Then jump into the LA 84 Foundation's Free Playday Block Party, a community celebration for all ages, including live music, dancing, LA's pro sports teams, great local food trucks, plus special giveaways for you to take home. Enjoy an exciting, fun-filled day for the entire family. Join us Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 2141 West Adams Boulevard. To register, go to la84.org. We'll see you Saturday, June 28th at LA 84 Foundation's Free Playday Block Party.
Every mother deserves a healthy and joyous pregnancy and birth, and every baby deserves to thrive. That's why the Los Angeles County Abundant Birth Project is here. The Abundant Birth Project is a guaranteed income program that provides cash during pregnancy to pregnant individuals at the highest risk of preterm and low birth rate babies. Although program enrollment has closed, our commitment to Black joy and thriving continues. Through tailored services that foster mental well-being and community-based resources, we provide care and support during pregnancy and after the baby is born to help build brighter futures for our families. Join us in celebrating abundant births in LA County. For more information, please visit abundantbirthproject.org. abundantbirthproject.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
It is, and you're always invited into this conversation. Let's go to Queen calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Queen. Queen, you with me?
Oh, sorry about that. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. How are you today?
Oh, my God, bless. I just wanted to say, first, give thanks for your show, for keeping us tapped in. But I want to speak about the news. I noticed and I observed the news yesterday pretty much taking, like, Maxine Waters or Karen Bass or Mr. Newton's information. They're taken out of context. They take a little bit and put their own lives on top of it. Where can we actually stay in tune and get the good news, the best news? You know what I'm saying? Because I really noticed a lot of things yesterday with the protests, people all up in the streets yesterday, the freeways. And I was like, okay, well, you know, if the people, what do you call it, the National Guard, if they out, then why are these people all up in the streets like that? You know? So I just want to pretty much know where we could stay in tune.
Yeah, what I do, Queen, I mean, I go to like a site, an aggregate site, a site that puts all these different news outlets together, like a Yahoo or a Google News I like, and then I'll look at what different people are saying. I like the Huffington Post because it's more progressive, but they don't always cover local. I like the same with The Nation, progressive, but they don't always cover local. But I'll also look at, like, locally, I'll look at, you know, you have to compare because the LA Times has become so biased, but you can compare with, you know, reports from different sources, and you got to follow the money and consider the source. I mean, here at KBLA, we do our best. I'll also look at, you know, ironically, The Guardian or BBC, you know, some of the nonprofit public television, because they tend to be a little bit less biased.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. But I will compare because I'll look at like a right-wing publication like The Post or, you know, these, and it helps to know where these people are coming from, right? So you can compare. Well, why are they saying this and they saying that? We know what Fox's agenda is. So if you compare a Fox article, you know.
I saw Fox yesterday, and I saw that they showed Miss Maxine Waters just for a moment, just to say something, and then they just stretched the lie.
Yeah.
I looked at them like, oh my God, no, they did. She didn't say nothing like that. She was just saying she don't want it to extend to. I forgot what she said as far as it turning into something. What do you call that when the armed forces come here and they just give everybody a curfew?
Yeah, like
she
martial law.
Like
martial law.
Mm-hmm.
There's a site called calmatters.org. They have interesting and very unbiased reporting, calmatters.org. I also will look at Capital B, although it's more national news. Capital B tends to be more progressive. calmatters.org. Looking at nonprofit news outlets is a good place to start because they're less driven by what sponsors say, or less driven by the profit motive. So
I appreciate that. I had to tell my kids yesterday, you guys, hey, there's something going on. You get on inside. There's something going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's mostly people reacting to the immigration and customs enforcement, those ICE agents, the masked federal law enforcement going to schools and, getting kids, going to court and getting people who are checking in for their immigration appointments. And many people are upset because they thought that the Trump administration would focus on arresting criminals and not children, workers at workers at Home Depots, regular people's neighbors, and that's what's happening now. So there's a lot of pushback, and people are protesting against that. And now it's escalated even more because the Trump administration has gone against the wishes of the governor and the local mayors and forced the National Guard to come in.
And I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that. I also heard the news, which really they twisted it up again. They said that they're going after criminals. I said they're not just going after criminals. They're going after families and people in schools. Like, that's not criminals. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm like, I got to get tapped into the real news.
Well, and like I said yesterday on our special broadcast, if they really wanted to find drug cartel level criminals, they would be going after those illegal marijuana grows up in Northern California, which are supposedly, according to reporting in the LA Times and elsewhere, run by drug cartels. They wouldn't be going to elementary schools. That's not where the hardened criminals are. You know what I mean? Maybe they'd look into some of the human trafficking. Why don't you guys start arresting some of these coyotes, as they call them, that traffic in human beings, or the people that are trafficking, little kids into prostitution? Look at that. That's where you might find some actual criminals.
Yeah, I actually feel like this is all just a plan, like they did the plan of the fires. That's my opinion. I feel like this is all their plan to just, turn it into something more than what it's supposed to be. So, yeah.
Well, let's say that's true just for a minute, Queen. What do you think they're trying to turn it into?
Like Ms. Maxine Waters mentioned, turn it into, I forgot the something law.
Martial law, right. Where martial law. And he's already moving kind of in that direction by using these obscure old laws to allow him to go around the governor and around the mayor and bring in the National Guard, even though the courts are probably going to say that he can't do that, which is why he's trying to pressure our LA police chief to ask for the National Guard.
Right. And I think the energy really should be towards helping those people that are without a home, and the people that lost their homes in the fire, and the people that's homeless at this time. That's where the energy should be put more towards.
The energy and the dollars. You're right, because, part. Queen, do you think all those federal agents coming in here and harassing people is free?
Not at all.
We're paying for that. That could be food on somebody's table.
There's too many people in the streets right now without homes, and the people, exactly the ones that lost their homes, they still ain't, from my understanding, they still ain't been... they still haven't received funding. So how about starting there? Let's get there. Let's take care of that. So I just really, in my opinion, I feel like this is all that chaotic plan for them to have more money and to just bring more chaos and have more control over the people. That's all.
Yeah, I don't think that's a far-fetched conspiracy. I think we're watching it unfold, Queen. And the other piece of it is he's got this big, terrible, horrible, very bad bill that he's trying to pass. So he's over here bullying California to get our eyes off the fact that he's trying to take money away from food stamps, money away from Medicaid and Medi-Cal, and shrink down Social Security in order to give tax breaks to the billionaires. He wants to distract us from that because that's what they're moving in Washington right now, while we are being, assailed by ICE and so it's a very effective distraction, I'd say.
I would too. I'd agree. But blessings to you on this beautiful day. We still, like God said, we're going to keep our eyes on the prize, and we're going to stay encouraged by Miss Maxine Waters and those people that, I really love Miss Maxine Waters, by the way.
Yeah.
She's a stand-up person.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
She is. And I haven't met Karen Bass yet, but I love me some Miss Maxine Waters, so they can't talk nothing bad about her because I met her personally.
Yes, indeed, Queen. Well, it's beautiful to hear your voice. Have a lovely day, and I'm glad you're reminding us to stay encouraged because no matter what we go through, we win. We win. That's the takeaway. We win. We're talking Diddy next hour. Haven't been tracking it too much, but we'll get updated when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Tensions rise in New York City as ICE arrests sparked protests. Representatives Adriano Espaillat and Nydia Velasquez were denied entry to a detention center Sunday.
They don't ask for your green card. They don't ask for your American passport. They'll profile you and pick you up depending on how you look.
A day earlier, 9 were arrested trying to block an ICE van outside a federal building in Manhattan. Memorial services begin today for Black former Congressman Charles Rangel, who died on Memorial Day at age 94. He'll lie in repose at a Harlem church where he once served as an altar boy, with a funeral Friday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. And Americans are set to spend a record $24 billion on Father's Day this year, according to the National Retail Federation. That's up over 7% from last year, with average spending just under $200 per person. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA Finals is tied up at 1-1. The Oklahoma City Thunder rebounded from a traumatic loss in Game 1 with a 123-107 win over the Indiana Pacers. Another magnificent game from NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points and 8 assists. SGA has 72 points in the first 2 games in the finals. That's the highest 2-game total in NBA history for a player competing in his first finals. The next 2 games are in Indianapolis. Game 3 is Wednesday night. The Dodgers beat St. Louis Sunday 7-3. They start a 3-game series tonight in San Diego. The Angels lost at home to Seattle 3-2. Angels batters struck out 18 times. The Angels start a 3-game series tonight in Antonio 7-0 to win the LA Super Regional. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's